All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, welcome back. Welcome back again to another episode on Antonicus Aurelius Motivates. And today, February 2nd, 2026, back out here again, man. Sun is shining today, man. Thank God. Praise God for that. So I had took a minute, man, just to fall back from my channel real quick. I had to do a lot of work, man. I had to do what I had to do to prepare in advance for this winter storm that was approaching and everything. And so I worked several 12 and 13-hour days ahead of all of this coming. And then I had to stop a day to just get some supplies and stuff like that from the store and all, because you already know, if you wait too long, to do what you got to do, then you'll get in the store and the shelves are empty and you can't get what you need and stuff like that. So I had to go ahead and do all of that stuff. And this is another reason why I'm about to go into what I'm about to go in today on this video about like how right now this is not the time to be slipping out here, man. I'm serious. And I've said this before. This time we are in right now, it's not a time to be second guessing what you're doing. You got to be having your thinking cap on all the way right now, man. And you got to be weighing everything up here in your mind before you do what you do, especially if you're the type of person like myself, who you don't have nobody else coming to save you, and you've got things you've got to get accomplished, and nobody gives a about you, or a finger in the middle about you, as my man Brian the Spiritual Warrior be saying. They don't. So you got to have like everything upstairs up here weighing in your mind about what you were doing out here, man. And this just makes me think about what I saw today, man. I already saw today, this morning when I woke up, on the news feed about the local news here. Because I just check in every now and then. I mean, I don't really watch the news. For those of y'all who already know about me and what I've said, I do not watch the news, okay? Just because I don't entertain these lies or this propaganda no more, because I just can't. It affects my spirit. But I still see things, locally that's happening, and I like to keep an eye on all of that, because as you know, we should all keep an eye on our surroundings and everything that's going on around us. But as I'm watching this morning, right, like I'm seeing, okay, so these two women, a mother and a daughter, I guess they're both adult women, they decide they gonna have a little winter fun, right? They decide they're gonna go out in the snow, which we had a couple of inches of snow here, and there's still a little bit of it on the ground and around out here, which this is something that is unusual for this area where I'm at, but it does happen. It has happened in the past. It's happened when I was little, growing up, where we get a snow event come through here, and I remember when I was little, it happened one time before in the 80s where it snowed to the curbs and we was all out there playing in it and having a good time and, you know, making snowmen and all that, throwing snowballs. I mean, this was when we was kids, right? You know what I mean? Like doing all this because this is something that is not really a thing that happens on a frequent basis here in the wintertime, but it does happen occasionally, okay? So not to take too long on what I was talking about, but to just go ahead and tell you about what I wanted to tell you about what happened with this story was these two women, they decide they want to have some winter fun, right? I guess that's what their plan was, that they was going to go out in the roadways. This was Saturday, and I guess it was in the evening time Saturday. I believe that's what they said on the report, that it happened at like 8 p.m. in the evening. So it's already dark here during that time. So these women decide they're going to go outside and grab a hold of a rope and get on a plastic lid and get drug around by somebody in their car. Somebody is going to pull them around and they're going to have a sleigh ride, right? Okay, so they decide that's what they're going to do. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the reason why I say this is not a time right now, okay, to be slipping out here, man. You got to think about everything that you're doing, okay? But they decide they're going to go ahead and go on this little ice-capade slide in the back of being pulled behind the back of someone's vehicle, right? So what happens was they let go of the rope and the car went to the stop sign or whatever to turn around, I guess, to come back and get them. But they decided that they was gonna stay in the roadway. Why they didn't move out the roadway, I don't know. But this is what I'm relaying to y'all, the message. And this happened not even that far from my house. That's the reason why it caught my attention this morning on the news feed, because this is only a couple of roadways down, maybe not even a mile or two, but not that far from my house, right? Where this all happened, where this took place. So that's the reason why I'm watching it. I was watching it and reading about what they said. So in this news clip, they say that the women, I guess they didn't get out the road. Well, here comes some guy in a truck, and evidently he done been drinking and driving on one. This is the reason why I say, man, y'all got to be watching what you're doing. You got to be prayed up, have on the full armor when you in these roadways, man, right now, especially when it's dangerous conditions. So he's on one coming in his truck. Now he done hit the women, ran them over. I guess injured them pretty badly. They had to both be taken to the hospital for their injuries. Then he gets out, looks at them, asks them if they're okay, then gets back in his truck, decides he's going to reverse and go back to his house or whatever. So the women recognized him when he got out. So they told the authorities his name and where he lived and everything. Well, here come the highway patrol or whatever and come and went and found him. And I'm not going to say the person's name. I'm not going to tell nothing about none of these names or the people. But anyway, to make a long story short. Okay, so now the man done ran over these women. Then the highway patrol man done come to his house, found him where he was at, gave him a field sobriety test. He failed. So now he has 2 charges of felony DUI. Plus he has 2 charges of hitting and running pedestrians. Hitting and run on pedestrians, I guess. So ladies and gentlemen, you got to weigh all the risks before you take the rewards in life, man. That's what this video is going to be about today, right? You got to weigh all the risks of everything that you're doing before you go and take whatever reward, because you never know what that reward is going to come with, right? You don't. So anyway, I'm about to go ahead and get out, walk it out, break this down for you. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about this. And I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth today about just the things that's on my mind right now, man. Because, you know, I paid attention to everything that was going on. And I've been paying attention to everything going on. And right now, like I said, you got to be paying attention to everything going on in front of you. And make sure that you make wise decisions, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that you think about everything you're doing. For real, man. But anyway, I'm about to go ahead and get out, get in this walk and talk, get my pack on and stuff like that. And then I'm going to be right back with y'all in just a minute. All right? So hold up. Okay. I'll be right back with y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm back now. And just like I was saying before, you know, before I had, you know, got out the car and all, like I was saying before, this is not the time, ladies and gentlemen, for none of us to be slipping right now. It's not. This is not a time for us to be making poor decisions. The spiritual warfare is at an all-time high, for one thing. So you got people out here moving around, man, who are on all kind of stuff that you don't know nothing about. And they got all kind of things in their mind that you don't know nothing about. And as we continue to see this whole thing begin to like come to a boiling point with all this evil and everything we've been seeing in the world, and as we see things like escalating, and as we see things starting to climax from all the lies and just deception and everything that we have around us out here in this illusion that we are in, as we continue to see these things happen where everything is climaxing and a lot of the things are being exposed about the wicked and evil people who've been in control of everything for so long, as we begin to see them become more and more exposed, and as we begin to see the truth coming out, you know, a lot of people are snapping, and a lot of people we are seeing now more than ever before in history. We are seeing like this whole thing going on right now, which has been happening more frequently, where people are beginning to play this game of provocation with you to try to get you to do something to mess you up, or to get you caught up in a case, or to get you to crash out. They're trying to get you to crash out, to do something dumb, something that you know you're not supposed to do. And y'all already know this, chosen ones. You are very aware of this. Those of y'all who have seen through these games that they're playing with us right now. And this is becoming more and more frequently as we see these things climaxing, like what I've been saying, where we are seeing people playing these little games, right? And we know the reason why they're playing these little games, right? The reason why they're playing these little games with us is because they're possessed with evil spirits, and they want to flip everything around on us to play the victim, to make themselves look like the good ones and make us look like the villains, right? Because they've got to discredit us by any means necessary. So this is another reason why you got to be making wise decisions right now at this time. And I guess I didn't really mean to stray off the topic too much with what I was talking about with everything and the whole situation about weighing the risk before the reward. I think I'll just try to get back to what I was talking about this. You know, and as I was telling y'all about this story about what recently happened on the 1st of February, I think it was on the 1st anyway. As I was telling y'all about this story about what happened with these two women who decided they was gonna go sliding behind this vehicle and being pulled by a rope and the roadways, playing sled slides in the snow. Like I was saying, you got to think about all the risk of everything you doing right now. The reward of going in out there in the snow for them would have been for them to have a good time and to slide around, right? But they never thought or weighed the risk of that before they did what they did. So that's the reason why they ultimately ended up getting hurt in the process of this, right? So you got to think about all these things, man, right now. Everything that you're doing. It's not a game. Especially now in 2026. Especially now, more so than ever before, right? Anyway, like I was saying though, and there's other people out here walking, but like I was saying though, you got to be weighing all the risks before the rewards. And y'all chosen ones, y'all know, you chosen ones, you already know all this, right? Because we are the ones who we do weigh all the risks before the reward. We think things through. We think of the end before the beginning, right? We know that everything has a cost that comes with it, right? So as we are seeing now, we are seeing like what we are seeing right now with all these, you know, lying politicians, celebrities, and entertainers. We are seeing now that it's getting to the point to where it's coming to the time now to where they are going to face the reward for the risk they took when they did what they did, selling their souls out, man, giving themselves over to Satan for temporary fame, for temporary earthly possessions, material possessions, and things like that we already know is really nothing in the eyes of God, right? God doesn't care about your accolades. God doesn't care about your earthly possessions or what you have achieved on this earth. All God cares about, all the Most High God cares about, is your relationship with Him. And you see, that's what many people have forgotten about in their pursuit of all these things that really, at the end of the day, don't mean nothing. You got to think about what means the most to you. You got to think about what gives you purpose in your life, right? You got to think about what is going to benefit others around you, not just what benefits yourself. You got to think about all the risks before the reward. All the risk you taking out here, man. You know, it might come with a reward that you don't like. Like, for instance, there was an incentive placed where I'm working for people to get some extra money during the winter storm, right? Offering a little bit extra to take the risk, I guess, to go out there in the middle of this storm. This winter storm, where we already know there's black ice on the road and all of that. And yeah, that's tempting to take that extra money that they're offering, the company is offering for the employees to go out in the winter storm. But, you know, is the risk worth the reward, ladies and gentlemen? That's what you got to think about. You already know people can't drive out here as it is. You already know people's minds are not on straight right now. People are in different emotional states right now that you can't see on the surface of just looking at them. You never know what can happen. You always got to be thinking the way God wants you to be thinking. You always got to be in alignment with the Most High in every decision that you make. You always got to be making sure that you are weighing the risks of everything that you're doing before you take the reward. Because the reward just may not be worth it in the end, right? It just may not be worth it, right? So now, in this society we're living in, we are seeing that yes, a lot of these people risked it all, even their souls, for the reward that they got from the devil. But ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake about it. Do not think for 1 second that when you dance with the devil, you ain't going to end up having to pay the price for that. See, that's what a lot of people think. They think that they can do the dance with the devil and then at the last minute back out of everything and come to God and beg and plead God to be with them and to let them, you know, be free from all of the things that they've already done, came into agreement with the devil, Satan. But one thing you can't do is you can't play with God. You can't go and make agreements with the enemy of your soul who wants your soul and think that you can just get out of that later on and pray your way out of that. No, it don't work that way. Once you done made your bed, now you got to lay in that. See, this is the thing that we got to think about in every decision we make. And this doesn't just have to do with like the decisions that celebrities made with selling their souls. This has to do with just our everyday choices that we make out here. And it's getting more and more intense right now, more so than ever before, that you got to be analyzing everything around you. And like I said, weighing everything in your mind before you make your final decision of every move you make. And that may be just the move you make of getting in your car and going up to the store or going or doing anything. Every move you make. Every person you encounter that you're dealing with, you got to be thinking about, what is this person about? Does this person really care about me? Does this person have my best interests? You have to watch the person. You have to pray to the Most High about everybody you're dealing with now. You have to pray that He reveal to you what are their true motives. What are they really about? Because, ladies and gentlemen, nothing in the world shows you more about people than when you down and out and on the bottom. The only ones that's real are the ones that are still with you during those times. Because when you up, everybody is going to want to be your friend. But when you down, when you going through it, when you going through your struggle, who is really going to be there for you during that time? If you have anybody who's there for you during that time, that's your real ones, right? You already know that. And unfortunately, in this world, in this evil, wicked generation we are in right now, sometimes it takes going down in the valley and being in your struggle to find out who is really for you. To find out who would really be there and care about you. And that's what I've had to learn through my experiences that I've had to go through in my life. That's what I'm sharing with y'all here on my videos, man. And right now, at this time, you don't have to be concerned about, really having a whole lot of people around you. What you got to be concerned about is your own personal safety, your own personal peace, and your own personal relationship with the Most High, because that's all that matters right now. Because we're going to see where things are going to happen, and they're going to happen fast. And they can happen at a breakneck speed. And there ain't no backing out of it once it done happen, man. There's no going in reverse. There's no reversing some of the things that happen in life. And they happen just like that. They happen very fast. This is not a time to be asleep, ladies and gentlemen. This is a time for you to have your guard up. This is time to be mature in your thinking. This is a time to be responsible as a responsible adult, making responsible adult decisions. Don't be one of these adults who's out here making childish, kiddie decisions with high school type mentality mindsets, man. If you do, it could be your last decision. I hate to say that, and God forbid that is the case for anyone, because I don't wish bad on nobody. But I'm just saying, for real, man, this is not the time to be slipping out here, man. It's not the time to be slipping and sliding in the game, man. There was a time when maybe we were sowing our wild oats when we were growing up, when we didn't know better. But when you know better, then it's time that you start to do better, right? This is the reason why so many people get caught up, because they don't learn from their mistakes, man. They don't learn from their past mistakes. See? And once somebody then burns you, man, don't ever forget that. You know, the same people that left you in your struggle, the same people that turned their backs on you after you was willing to like go the extra mile for them, after you was willing to actually bend over backwards to do things for them that nobody else would have, and then they took advantage of you and they exploited you. Don't ever forget that. You know? And don't ever forget about what really matters out here in this matrix. Because I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't about the house you are in. It ain't about the car you driving. It ain't about how much money you got in your bank account. That's what they want you to think it's all about. And then that's what they want to measure you by. They want to measure you by your social economic status out here. And this is the programming that they have pre-programmed everybody with out here, and that is leading the masses completely astray. Yes, there are many rewards. There are many rewards out here that you can receive, that Satan will give to you. And he'll be more than happy to give them to you. He'll be more than happy. We see it all around us out here. We see all these people setting aside their morality, setting aside their common decency, setting aside their self-respect, man, for the reward. Just to be known, just to be seen. By who? By most of the people, and I probably would say with confidence that 95% of them don't care nothing about you. That's who you want to be seen by, and who are fake. And yes, fake people will clap for you when you have fake success. And yes, it may feel good at the time, but everything has an expiration date, ladies and gentlemen. Everything has an expiration date. Nothing lasts forever. And one day, you're going to have to ask yourself, was it really worth it all? Was it really worth it all? Did I leave a legacy of something that was actually worth something? Did I actually do something that could have helped somebody find the Lord Jesus Christ and God? Or did I do something that just was like everybody else and was a complete waste of my time, that had no purpose? Because really, there are people out here right now
who are starving for not just food, but the word of God, starving for the truth, starving for real relationships, real love. Starving for the real. And there's nobody to give it to them. And a lot of this has come about, ladies and gentlemen, with all of this technology and everything. A lot of this has come about because people have turned their backs on God. They've turned their backs on the truth. And they've taken the reward of the devil and they've thought that just by taking that and by being seen by others, that was what mattered to them the most. And I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters, man. Right now, this is the time. We've been placed here to do something, to answer the call, to do what we got to do, to not be slipping out here in the game, man. To be out here doing something that really matters at this time. Because times are coming where you ain't gonna have that time no more. And you can't get your time back once you done lost it. This is the time right here, right now, that you've been given to do what matters. So just think, man. Just think about all the risks involved before you take the rewards. Is the risk worth the reward? Ask yourself that question. And stay true and authentic to who you are, rather than take something that's going to make you have to compromise your integrity, make you compromise everything that you know that you want to stand for, that you know is true, and everything that you know is beneficial to others in a meaningful way. And that's not fake. Just think about that every day, man. And especially now. Especially now more than ever so. At this time we're in right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a time to be asleep. And it's not a time to be sleepwalking out here in this zombie matrix. Take care of yourself. Take care of your physical body. Take care of your mind. Take care of your health. Take care of your of the things that really matter. You know, your personal safety. You know, your time is something that you can't get back, because you can get back maybe your money that you spend or something like that. You can make that back, but your time, once your time is gone, you can't get that back. And every decision that you done made, once you done made that final decision, sometimes that decision that you made in the moment that you made it at, and you didn't think about it and weigh that decision before you made it, unfortunately, sometimes that could be your last decision you make on this earth. Because it doesn't take but just mixing up with the wrong person or the wrong thing very long to where it can make something permanent happen in your life that you can't get yourself out of. So just think about that. I hope this message helps somebody out today, man. You know, I'm back out here getting my walk in. I already told y'all, man, time is moving so fast. We already done came all the way through the first month of 2026 and we already here in February. But you know, I'm gonna continue to get it in, continue to make this content, continue to try to like encourage others, man. I'm still in my own personal storm, y'all know right now, man. I still have not received justice for who shot my house up in the drive-by shooting on September 25th, 2024. I know they covered the whole thing up. I know they tried to destroy me. The county tried to destroy me. They tried to destroy my whole entire life. I know wicked and evil, jealous people and envious people was behind it. My intuition tells me that, whether I've seen exactly who and all was involved in everything yet. And I know that it has everything to do with what I came to do with my music, which was for the truth and which was up for uplift in the name of Jesus Christ, and that they tried to destroy and silence my voice with. They tried to destroy my life and make me, drive me insane and try to make me lose my mind, try to make me take my own self out. And then when that didn't work, then they tried to take me and my mama out. But God knows who they are. And they must pay for what they did. Because the laws of sowing and reaping. But anyway, not to stray too much off the topic from what I was saying before, like I said, y'all, right now is not the time to be slipping. Weigh all of everything in your mind before you make your decisions, and remember of the risk before you accept the reward. Till the next one, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Love, light, peace, blessings to you all. If you're new here, you just came over to my channel, you know, everything that I do over here, it's all positive vibes, uplifting, encouraging videos for those of you who may be going through your own personal battles, hardships, struggles, or whatever it is that you face in your life. Just know that I'm here for you, man. I'm here for you. And for all my chosen ones, you know, out there who's still going through it. You done endured it all. You done came through it all, man, and you still here, you still standing. This is for you too, as well. So, like I said, I love y'all all, man. I hope y'all all having a blessed day. And until the next one, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.